Good morning. Happy
Morning.
Friday. Hope everybody's having a great day. Um, Trying to find the chat here. I don't know. Well, every morning it seems like I have trouble locating the chat, and I do it every morning.
Huh.
This is show 149. That's crazy.
Oh,
So glad that I have stuck with this. Good morning, Margot. Hope you're having a good day. Sally ditched us for yard sales this morning, which is cool. I mean, if you do what you got to do. So,
mhm.
good morning, Frankie's Finds. Um, so yeah, she's at the yard sales this morning.
How dare she?
I know. Shame on her.
She could have brought us with her.
True, very true. But oh, yeah, it's been an interesting. Not really interesting. I kept really busy last night. I think I got 25 or 26 listings up yesterday total. So that was really good.
Nice.
That was really good for me. So I'm hoping it'll transfer over to some sales today and for the week.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do the same thing today. Um, and I'm going to try. Uh-oh. Sassy Seller says, congrats, I got a big goose egg. Well, I hope
Oh
you're
no.
okay. Goose eggs are not good.
No.
Um, I think I'm going to try and go to the outlets on Monday
Oh.
and see how everything kind of pans out. But um, I
How
kind
far
of
away are
learned
those from you?
it's an hour. It's an hour and about an hour and 15 minutes or so. And most of it's just highway. Um, so not too bad. Oh, okay. She got a big goose egg. So a 0 for listings. That's what it is. She didn't get bonked on the
Oh,
head.
red or something.
She says, one more week with 3 kids home. Once school starts, I'll be down to 1. I understand.
hmm
Summertime is always difficult. She said
Now see,
she didn't list anything yesterday. Drafted 5 without the picks.
I loved my kids being home during the summer, going to school. I keep my kids like right here in a little bubble or anything. I wasn't like
Uh-huh.
that, but I just enjoy my kids, and
Right.
when they're coming.
Right.
But I had
Well,
really good kids, and I taught them not to be so needy,
mm-hmm.
so I could still do stuff while they were home.
Right. They could be independent and take care of, basically
Yeah,
take care of themselves.
yeah.
That's the way to go. Teach your kid to be
hmm
self-sufficient, of course, within
Yeah,
reason, but,
yeah.
and that way they can be home. But, you know, that's the thing about this job. I wish I had done this, you know, um, when my kids were at home, because I think I could have spent a lot more time with them. I mean,
hmm
up until my late 30s, it was all about I worked and the kids came second, basically. So,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's
but
nice that eBay can make it so mothers can be at home again,
oh yeah.
Because the thing is that, ever since mothers have started to go back to work, I mean, that have to be at work, like all the mothers, not just because they want to, but all the mothers had to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, each generation, it's declining.
Mm-hmm.
The behavior of the kids and the success of the kids and stuff like that. The country's going to go to hell in a handbasket with
Right.
these next generations
Yep.
because to do with their parents are never home.
Right.
And a lot of parents want to be home, but they have to work.
Mm-hmm.
Have to work more than
Yeah,
just
I
9 to
think
5.
yeah. So, a lot of people work two jobs, you know,
Yeah,
and and those two jobs are just barely, especially if you're a single parent, um, those two jobs are just barely, getting you by.
yeah,
But yeah, I definitely, wish I could change that, as far as, but in another sense, you know, we, with me working, I depended on them to be, responsible and, self-sufficient, and, so that really made them like an independent, woman that they are now. So, I mean, I guess I could have, kept them at home and coddled them a little bit, but um, they probably wouldn't be the women that they are,
yeah.
today. So
Your kids look like they're doing just fine.
they're doing. I'm so happy with them. So proud of them. Just the way that they've,
Yeah,
turned out,
yeah.
and everything. But
It's good.
they came from a family of divorce and everything. But I always, to me, it was always, I always tried to get them, to go see their dad, to, go do stuff with their dad. I always encouraged that. When I went
Yeah.
to California for my grandson's birthday, had her dad, or my daughter's father, my ex-husband,
Hmm.
was there also with his wife. And, I mean,
Yeah,
we're not best friends, but I know that if there was ever a problem with the girls, I know that I could call him and I know he would
yeah,
answer.
yeah,
And he would talk to me about it. So really we're better friends now than what we were when we were married.
yeah.
Most
Yep.
definitely. But I just, there's a lot of, you know, uh, areas when there's divorce and all that, keeping the kids from, one parent or
Yeah.
another. And yeah, I was not gonna play that game. So I always,
Yeah, I never understood these women who are like, nope, you can't see your kid. And then on the next breath, they're like, oh, I'm a single mom. I have to take care of my kids all the time.
yep,
Free babysitter there, your ex-husband, or the baby daddy, or whatever you want to call him.
right,
But you don't. But you want to use the kid as a pawn. So you know,
yeah.
yeah, that drives me nuts.
I just always, and Tina and Julie both, they went to live with him for a little bit, and I thought that was, I wasn't,
Yeah.
I didn't want them to go, but they
No.
wanted to experience something different and, a different area.
Hmm.
And, I couldn't hold them back just because I wanted to
No.
be selfish.
Yeah.
So
Oh, of course. Me and my
Frankie's
husband,
fine.
we separated.
I'm,
we
I'm
separated for
just,
a while, and
uh-huh.
and just we got along. It wasn't. We still did stuff together. granted, we separated to fix the marriage,
Right.
but still, I mean, there wasn't no bad mouthing each other, even though we were angry with each other
Sure.
with the kids. If he wanted the kids, he took the kids. If I wanted the kids, I took the kids.
Right. Yep. I'm just glad that, you know, we could still be civil. We could still, have a conversation and everything. It's definitely, I'm sure it's awkward for my daughters, to be around that, not knowing
Yeah,
how we're going to, you know, handle each other or whatever. And I was a little apprehensive myself to, it was the first time I met his wife. And, it's just weird, but I
yeah,
mean, you still have to, kind of adjust and, you know, be civil and be
hmm,
nice and, everything will be fine.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'd rather do that than have drama. So
exactly.
I'm a drama-free mama.
And you'd rather be with your kids than have to deal with, or you'd rather put up with him and see your kids
Oh, yeah.
than not, because that would just cause so much trouble and end up
Right.
straining your relationship with your kids, and
Exactly.
don't need all that.
Yeah. So, good
Plus,
morning,
I mean, how
Tim.
stressed. I mean, you don't want to stress out your kids either. I mean, they to make them like plan separate things for you guys and stuff like that. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Because my mother-in-law, see, my husband and my mother-in-law and my husband's aunt all worked with my dad at at a company, right?
Hmm.
They were all friends. My dad loved Gary. My mother-in-law said I was the best. Dad talked about me like I was the best thing since the wrong wheel until I got married to her son. Um, and they were all friends. I mean, they worked together and whatever.
Right.
But as my kids were growing up, my in-laws were like, "No, I don't want to have a birthday party with everybody. We'll have our own. They'll have their own." And it's like, why do I need to have two separate birthday parties?
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all were friends before we got married. You know, it's like his family's a little different, but whatever. And my husband was the only normal one in his family, but um, seriously, they're all nuts. But yeah, I never understood that, and I had to have two birthday parties all the time. It was like, this is so stupid. Because every time I had one combined birthday party, then I'd have to listen to bitch, 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 all the time.
Yeah.
but
I know.
yeah, so it's nice you don't make your daughters do that.
Mary said, just wanted to let you all know that I may not be in the challenge tomorrow. I have to go in for a CT scan today. I have a fracture
Oh,
in a vertebrae and not sure if I will be up for listing. Ow! That's
ouch.
awful. That's horrible. Well,
No, that sounds terrible.
you do whatever you need to do.
You can come in and say hi if you want.
Absolutely, you can hang out. You don't have to, we always have good stories. We'll make
Yeah.
we'll make you laugh a lot.
I don't know how much I'm going to be here tomorrow because there's an auction.
Well, that's the thing too and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do like a 12-hour, and that way, people can come and go as they please, and
Yeah,
if they got to go do something. But I thought it would be
yeah,
good, if people were working during the week that, and during the day that it would be a good chance for people to get in on that too.
yeah.
So
Yep.
T11. T11, that's like down at the like your tailbone, isn't it?
Mm.
or lower back. Be right back. Gotta get my little. I understand. Hip area. Yeah.
I hope they can get it fixed for you.
Yeah. That'll be good.
I had that horrible back pain when I used to work a job in a cubicle.
Mm-hmm.
Every year I'd get this pain. I think it was like a sciatic, but
Mm-hmm.
anyways, I would get this pain and it would get so bad. It was constant pain. It was driving me crazy. I mean, the pain would never go away ever. It
Mm-hmm.
was there 24/7 and excruciating pain. And I mean, I got to the point where I was walking with a walker and I'd have to sit down every couple steps.
Wow.
It was so horrible. Anyways, then they'd send me in for epidural, and then it would go away.
Mm-hmm.
Second year that I had the epidural done, it ended up switching sides. One side ended up going to the other side, so I'd have an epidural on that side too.
Oh my gosh.
And it was horrible. I mean, a horrible pain. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I was going crazy. I couldn't do anything without pain.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sit, I couldn't lay, I couldn't nothing. Well, when I quit that job, I've never had that pain again. So it was that job that
Oh yeah.
was giving me the pain.
Yeah. I
That's why
really
I
think
really say it's the best thing I ever did.
that a job that is repetitive, or that you're sitting down a lot. Um, I think that
Mm-hmm.
is that's where a lot of the injuries come from. And especially if you've got file cabinets and drawers and
Mm-hmm.
things like. I mean, you can make a wrong move and hurt something.
The thing is before that, I mean, I had done computers, I'd done management, stuff like that. But I was always working. I was always doing stuff.
Mm,
Even when I was a truck driver, I drove within 200 miles of my house.
mm-hmm,
So I was always constantly in and out of the truck. And I would lift, I mean, I could lift almost 200 pounds.
mm-hmm,
I can't anymore, but I used to be able to. And I'd come home and I'd be super mom, get all this housework done, get the lawn done, do whatever I needed to do. Because
mm-hmm.
I always hate waiting for my husband. My husband's motto is, why do today what you can put off till tomorrow? And it drive me nuts. Procrastination used to drive me crazy. So, I mean, I would just do stuff just because he wasn't doing it right then, fast enough for me.
Right.
Well, anyways, yeah, so I mean, and I've never even had a pain in my back before that job.
Wow.
And yeah, and after I started that job, yeah, it was horrible.
Well, thank goodness you quit that job.
Yeah. Well, it was about the 10th morning in a row that my husband wake me up for work and I just start bawling my eyes out that I had to go to work. He finally said,
Oh.
"Hey, that job."
Yeah. Thank goodness.
Because I'm not really a crier either, and emotional person. But yeah, that job was just so horrible. I hated it. I did it for like 3 years,
Wow.
but insurance.
Yeah, I think that definitely has I'm not a sit at a desk. Of course, I'm sitting at a desk right now, but I'm not, that type of a person where I can just sit at a desk and do work,
Yeah,
and I have to be up and around. My other job, or my old job, I worked at the desk, but I also was, going out to see patients. So
yeah.
um, that was always a good thing, just to get out and move around and walk and all of that.
Yeah.
So I've
Well,
actually
that's the
always
thing.
wanted one of those desks that where you can stand up. I'd rather stand
Yeah,
up at a desk than sit down.
yeah. That's why I told my husband I wanted one of those stand up, sit down desks that
Yeah.
you can either stand up or sit down.
Yep. Tim says, and FYI for everyone, if you have time, Twitter and Facebook do work. I love to do eBay full time. I know I can make ends meet on eBay if I can just list. Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Mary said that. What? I got confused here.
Mm-hmm.
I combined two of your messages in one. Tim says, and FYI for everyone, if you have time, Twitter and Facebook do work. I listed all 200 items plus items on Twitter yesterday afternoon. Got 2 instant sales. That's great. And
Oh,
Mary O
oh, on Twitter, I
says,
never thought of doing it on Twitter.
yeah. Mary says, I would love to quit my job, but hubby thinks I need this because of insurance. I would love to do eBay full time. I know I can make ends meet if I can just list.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just have to, you know, that's a that's a slippery slope right there. You just if you need, if you have health problems, I would recommend, either looking into getting some kind of, self-employment insurance or something like that where you can just, pay for it on your own. But
mm-hmm.
um, you know, I discontinued our insurance when I quit, and it we're not like sickly or anything, but it was I really had to make a decision because our deductible was like $8,000 each for each person. So really, I had to look at it and say, I'm paying for it anyway. It's gonna, unless we
Mm-hmm.
have like a catastrophic event, it's not gonna be met every
Yeah,
year. So, it
mm-hmm.
was for us. It really wasn't doing us any good. We could have, we just paid it out of pocket and just was done with it like that. And that's what worked for us. But I can understand your husband's, um, thought about the insurance. Yep.
Well, that was
Yes.
why I stayed at that horrible job for so long because my husband's insurance, if he got it through his company, it would have been like $800-900 a month, which we did do for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got this really good insurance, and it was only like $250 a month,
Wow.
and the deductible was way low, and everything was paid for 100%, and I mean it was just awesome insurance. And because it was through this big corporation. I worked for a big corporation, a worldwide corporation,
Mm-hmm.
and so the bigger the company, the better the insurance. Um, yeah, so I mean, it was really, really difficult to quit that job because of that really good insurance that we're only paying, $250 a month for.
Yeah.
And it was for my family of four. It wasn't just like me and Gary. It was all our whole family, my kids and everything. So it was really tough to quit that.
Yeah. I think, when we figured out, because we ran some numbers and we actually figured out that we'd be saving money with me quitting that job, which is,
Yeah.
sounds kind of crazy, but if you have to put money up for mileage and, gas and it just worked out better for us. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
tough because we had to really look at, what we were spending and
Hmm.
be a little more frugal. than normal. But we just, if that's what we wanted, and then we had to just make some decisions and compromise, and that's what we decided to do.
Yeah.
And then of course my health was kind of decreasing, so we just figured that would be better for and all parties involved, that it'd be better if we did this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he believed in me enough to do that. So
Hmm.
let's see.
Once he passed away, you probably wouldn't have quit your job because it was just you, and you probably would have been frantic about quitting your job.
Right.
So if he hadn't have pushed you to do that, you may not be where you are right now.
Exactly. Exactly.
You'd be on your own. You being on your own, you wouldn't have you may not have the what do you call it, the nerve to quit your job.
Exactly.
You know, because you're like, oh, it's just me now. I gotta.
Yeah, and of course, when you have that job, it's scary to think, oh gosh, I don't have a job. I don't have, that um security of that check, that
Yeah,
same check coming in every day or every week.
yeah,
And but I mean, really, it just makes you work harder,
mhm,
when you're doing this.
yeah.
So,
I mean, this is the only way that when you work for somebody else, no matter how hard you work, you're still getting paid the same amount.
yep,
But with this business, the harder you work, the more you're going to make.
that's right.
So you can finally be paid for what you're worth.
That's exactly right. Very true. And I know that there's a lot of avenues, um, with this business that I still haven't even, uncovered. So,
Hmm.
um, I'm just really excited for the future, and what's going to come next. And
Yeah.
I don't really rule anything out, as far as um, what I can and cannot do. So,
Well, you'd be stupid to.
yeah, I mean, you have to keep your options open, and kind of go with
Yeah.
it. So I think there's a lot more doors that can be opened with this opportunity rather than just a regular job. Um,
Oh yeah, definitely.
so, but I'm thankful for it.
Hmm.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm not quite there at 50 yet. I've got a couple of years to go, but I've heard the AARP is really good, and the insurance is pretty good too. Tim says the new shipping program will be a big change for everyone, or for some. Everyone really needs to read up on it and be prepared. Yeah, I need to take a look at that and see what's going to be expected. I mean, I do 1 day handling. I don't. I charge shipping on everything that I do. Um, so it'd be kind of good to know what's going on and how that's going to work.
Yeah,
And usually,
I haven't really paid attention to it.
yeah. Um, looks like Tim says rolls out Tuesday for thousands, so that's probably the beta. And then everyone by 2018. So Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it and see what happens. That's one thing that I did learn, and working for corporate, is that things change about every 6 months or so. There's something new
Mhm.
that's coming out. There's a new policy or a new way that they're doing things, or um, so you kind of have to be willing to adjust and um, change processes and everything, which is not a bad thing. I mean, that's kind of how you evolve into a better seller, and um, you're
Yep.
just you adapt well to change. So
You know, I don't usually. I'm not really too concerned about changes these days. Back with the under the rule of the old CEO, I mean things were getting a little weird, but the last few years, eBay has really been stepping up their game as far as for the sellers.
hmm
And so I usually don't really pay attention to many updates until they get here. Or about them, because most of the changes the last few years, changes that were like, what the hell were you thinking? But I mean, everybody does.
hmm
But it seems like most of the majority of the changes that eBay has made over the last few years have been positive for
right.
the most part. And so I welcome changes, because it seems like eBay is trying to, as far as the sellers go, they're trying to help the sellers a lot more than they used to. Honestly, I haven't looked at the updates, so I'm really not sure what
Yeah,
I.
I put that on my list of things to do today. I'll take a look at that and see what I can find out. You ever write something and you're thinking, what was that supposed to be?
Yeah. Hey, chicken scratching. You can't read it after it dries.
Hmm, that's funny. Yeah, I just think you just have to be willing to, it's your business, but it's their playground, and they make
Yep.
the rules. And you just I think I think all those things have to, you have to be willing to adjust to change, and things are they're gonna try and make things better. They're gonna always be in competition with Amazon, and Amazon's always changing, so eBay's always changing. Um, so that's just a fact. And so you just have to be ready to make those changes. And if you're doing it already, that's what I think too is a good is good that you know try to implement those changes a little bit at a time, so that way when it does go into full effect, you're already compliant, um, and so it's not a big deal.
Was there any other updates? Guaranteed shipping update? I don't. I think that was the only update that was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But like Tim was saying that, let's see, what did he say? He said they want you offering more than one way of shipping. Um,
Mm.
yeah, I guess that would be a good thing to do, especially like
Yeah, they're
when
trying.
Q4 comes around. If they want something, quicker than first class or whatever, that can make sense. But
Yeah, eBay's always been trying to push that free shipping, and
yeah, I I just
yeah.
don't. I'm not a believer. I'm not convinced.
I've switched to free shipping before, and it really didn't make a difference. I've switched to free shipping, lowered my prices, everything,
Mm-hmm.
and it really didn't make a difference.
Right.
Some people believe in it, some people don't. But we all have to do what's right for our business. So,
Yeah,
what works for one may not work for another.
exactly. And it may be something because my main item is clothing. It may be a different thing with other items. Other categories. I just haven't had a problem with people paying for shipping. So, morning, Tara.
Hi, how's it going? Well, I do free shipping, but I will tell you this. It's never for free because I adjust my price of my item up to cover the shipping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is. I don't know. I haven't looked into the guaranteed shipping. I won't be in the test group because I have 2-day handling. So I think you'd have to have 1-day handling to get into the test group.
Yeah.
I don't know why would you want to be in the test group?
I don't know.
I don't want to be a guinea
I
pig.
don't even, honestly, I ain't even really worried about the, I mean, you'll get higher search, I'm sure, results, in the ranking and stuff, but I'm not even too worried about it right now, honestly. Yeah. They're trying to be a little bit like Amazon. I suspect these companies, they probably headhunt back and forth from each other. You see this in and this is stupid.
Yeah.
Example, but snowmobiles. If you work for Polaris engineers end up working at Articat and vice versa. And pretty soon you start seeing that they bring a lot of their ideas from the other company into the new company, and they kind of become like the same. Anyway.
Right. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that probably goes on some, with like eBay and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. If you have free shipping already, why do you have to offer two? Did I hear they want you to offer 2 shipping choices?
Yeah.
Well, if you have free shipping, why the heck do you have to offer 2 free shipping choices if they're not paying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they want one to be expedited, but they also want the expedited shipping to be free, which is how when they asked the buyers what they wanted in surveys, eBay the Magnificent said, would you like faster shipping, or would you like to not have to pay for it? Well, it's like free healthcare. Sure, I'm on board, but as soon as you pay for the healthcare, nobody wants it, And that's what eBay did. I mean, it was a flawed question. Of course, they want free, fast shipping, but how is the seller going to do that without raising fees? And you just can't, because there is no free lunch.
Right.
Well, and that's the thing, I mean, they got to start giving us better discounts like Amazon gets for if they want to offer extra special shipping. You know what I mean?
Well, Amazon.
I mean, sure, yeah, we'd be able to ship cheap like Amazon if we had special pricing like Amazon does.
Right.
Well, Amazon has Prime,
what I mean?
So every person that's a Prime member who gets the free shipping pays $100 a year, or $99 or $90, whatever it is. It's $100 a year. You get to join the Prime membership for the free shipping. eBay doesn't do that.
Yeah, eBay forgot that little part. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Got to get their heads on straight. It's just bad. I don't know. I mean, they make foolhardy decisions. Oh, it's a pattern. They got to get their, I don't know, a new CEO or something. They got to get their house in order.
Didn't they just get a new CEO a few years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they need to keep looking.
Keep their options open.
I couldn't say
a little bit. I mean, he's made some good changes.
Yeah, I couldn't take this fidget spinner and have it, let's say I charge $9.99 free shipping. It's going to go first class. I couldn't charge $9.99 free shipping and send it priority, with an expedited choice.
Right.
Yeah. And most people, if there's expedited choice of free shipping, what the heck do you think they're going to pick? It's going to be the priority.
Exactly.
Right.
So anyway, but that's whatever.
So I mean, somebody wants to pay less and doesn't mind if they wait a little longer for it. Well, they're just off the playing field. They're done. You just got to pay more.
Anyway,
It just, I don't know.
it's their sandbox.
It's actually, well, within their sandbox, they're offering actually, what they're making is we're going to have less options rather than more. It's going to be exclusive, not inclusive. It's just wrong thinking. Backward. I mean, there's no, it's like if I do this, it's not thinking about if I do A, B will happen. It looks like they're like playing checkers. They don't think one move ahead. I mean, and they'll make a change because they're always making changes. Why? Because they're perpetually screwing up. That's why they're perpetually changing stuff. My opinion. Rant over.
Well, I think they have made some stupid changes. But like I said before, I think the majority of the changes that they've made have been good. You know, it's just every once in a while they get a little, change happy and something goes awry. But I think for the most part, most of their changes are pretty good.
What is it guaranteed shipping? 2 days? Is it guaranteed shipping 2 days?
Oh, sexy girl.
I thought it was 3 days shipping.
Is it 3? Okay.
Yeah, you can get it in 3 days for free. No matter where you live. Just asinine because, you can't. You're gonna make any money.
Well, you get priority, yeah. I mean, I think because I thought it was 2 days because I'm like even priority. Like if I ship to California, that's 3 days priority. If I ship to South Florida, that's 3 days priority.
Right.
Maybe it's because if it's 2 day, I mean, even with priority, there's no way I can do it.
Yeah, priority is guaranteed 2 to 3 days, not.
Yeah. Well, like when you print your label, like if I print a label and it's going to San Diego, it'll say 3 days priority.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it'll get there before that, but might not. It might be there in the 3 days. I don't know. I guess I ain't gonna worry about it.
Well, that's the thing. If eBay's trying to follow Amazon, whole new different way of doing things, because Amazon had that great pricing with UPS.
Yeah.
I mean, they could ship anything for darn near nothing. Where that's not the case with eBay. Yes, we get a decent discount, but nothing like Amazon did.
No. And you're getting the sellers on Amazon are shipping it into FBA. I mean, I don't sell on Amazon, so I'm very naive about it. But I mean, that's you're shipping it into the warehouse, then Amazon's shipping it out.
Yeah, or open up a thing called eBay Warehouse where you send stuff into the eBay warehouse.
Oh wait, they did try to do that. Was it called eBay Valet? Whatever happened with that?
Another change. Thank you.
Anyhow.
I'll do the 2 forms of shipping, but they're going to pay. The customers are going to pay for what they want, and that's the way I'm. That's the way I.
My point is, if you were offering free shipping, and let's say it's an item that goes first class, and you offer 2 forms of shipping, they're going to pick the priority shipping.
And when they surveyed these buyers, they did not say you'll pay extra. They just said, "Would you like free expedited shipping?" And of course, everyone said yes.
Right. Right.
Well, that's because most people in general have no clue how much it costs to ship something.
No, and everybody loves free.
They don't think the seller's paying that much for shipping.
No.
Or they're not even thinking about it. They're thinking free shipping means free shipping.
Yeah, for first class, I mean, if you're on that 15, 16 ounce rate, I mean, it's like $4 or $4, a couple cents. I mean, most people, the general public, would not think it costs that much to ship first class.
Yeah.
Or if it's over a pound, it's $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you jump over a pound, you're hovering right around $10 for shipping.
Yep.
Unless you can squeeze it into a padded envelope. I mean, you got that middle there where you can pad an envelope in small flat rate box. If you can squeeze it into that, you're okay over a pound. But anything else, anything you got to put in a regular eBay box, it jumps right up to like $8, and a couple pounds more, and you're up to 10. So
Right.
I mean, for rough thinking, I always figure if it's over a pound, it's going to cost me about $10 to ship.
Yeah.
Or if I'm figuring free shipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess since I don't know the answer, I shouldn't bitch, but
Yeah.
I will anyway.
Hey,
And we won't be. I mean, I know they rolled out. I think it's like 50,000 people get to opt into it next week or what? Or yeah, I guess next week. You know, I'm not one of those people, so maybe it'll work out all right. I hope so.
I think
Well,
it's one of those things that everybody gets excited about, and then it's not once it goes into effect or whatever. I don't think it's a big deal.
If it does not work, they're just going to phase it out. They'll just pretend it never existed, and they'll just
Right.
hush up about it, and it'll just phase out.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to remember their hits, and nobody wants to talk about their misses.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, and they're saying like buyers will be able to filter their search based on the guaranteed delivery. Well, yes, if you have very like common items like socks or whatever, where you probably have 50,000 other people selling them, but most of the stuff, a lot of stuff that I sell, I'll be like very few people with the same thing listed. So I guess I'm not going to worry about it much.
and like I've said before, like the big stuff, like the big manufacturing machines that I sold, or the even all the big parts and stuff that we sell, and boat motors that you guys sell and stuff like that. The people that are buying that kind of stuff knows what it costs to ship it, so they're not surprised when shipping comes across saying, "Hey, it's going to be this much to ship it." They're not surprised with that.
And they know it needs to go like in a crate or something, so they know that you can't possibly pack this thing up in 24 hours and have it in their lap,
Exactly.
It's not like it's in a shoebox in a bunch of envelopes or something where you just, throw a stamp on one of the envelopes and take it out to the mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually, I'll tell you, the ones I have the biggest problem with shipping complaints, like where's my item or whatever, and you're totally on time. It's usually things between $4.99 and $9.99.
Yeah.
It's usually the 5 to 10. I get the pissiest customers.
As a matter of fact, the other day when I sold a $5 item, which it's a multiple quantity item, which I have like 50 of them. Anyways, I sold two $70 items and a $50 item. Well, I have 2-day shipping. Yesterday, I get a message from the person who bought the $5 item, and this was at noon yesterday. So even if I was shipping it out yesterday, they still didn't even give me all day to ship it. You know what I mean? And they messaged me and asked me, "Why have you not shipped my item yet?" Explanation point, explanation point.
Oh, I hate that. Unnecessary punctuation.
Jimmy,
and it's
unnecessary punctuation.
Or when, I can't finish my sentence, so I'm going to end it with period, period, period. I just want to take my computer and fold it in half when I see that. It's like, didn't you?
I know.
English class, didn't they teach you proper fecking punctuation, you imbecile? Anyway.
And then you respond, "Thank you for your purchase."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, but when they get the bunch of question marks, here's a good one, Nikki. Why haven't you? I ordered this 4 hours ago. Why haven't you shipped it yet? It's dark out.
Yeah.
Question mark, question mark, question mark. It's dark outside. What the frick does what the color of the air is outside got to do with the price of cheese? I mean, oh man, yeah. Some of those people just you're getting me really riled today, Nikki. My blood pressure's up.
Well, that's like, but I've bought things, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night I get the bing. Oh, your package has been shipped, and it's like, how in the hell did they ship it right now? But what they did was they just printed the label,
Yeah.
But see, people are used to seeing that. As soon as they buy something, boom, your item has been shipped,
Mm-hmm.
No, it hasn't been. The label was just printed.
Yeah. And I think, as much as I possibly can, I try to, get them shipped as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And so what I do, I try to, print all of my labels in the evening. So that way in the morning, all I have to do is, put them outside and for a pickup. And I figured that kind of helps them. It kind of gives them that relief that, okay, they're, they got it shipped. And I mean, there must have been, a ton of people that just had problems with, people shipping their stuff, because everybody just seems so weirded out. Like, if they buy something, it should be shipped automatically,
Yeah. Well, that is the one good thing about Amazon, like when it's fulfilled by the warehouse. I think people, it's like buying from a catalog company. They feel like, oh, okay, well, this is a regular company. And probably sometimes on eBay, because we're individual sellers, they're thinking like it's, hooky people that are running garage sales or something. Who knows how responsible they are,
Yep.
I will tell you this, Paul. I got a baseball hat from Duck Commander. You know how many, and I was curious how many days that took for them to ship out, because they had a lot of orders before it had a label on it. 5 days.
Wow.
Duck Commander, 5 days.
Mhm.
Anyway, so
That's crazy.
Cy?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got that Uncle Cy working there. I'm sure he's real fast putting labels on stuff.
They must have been busy shooting ducks or something. But not that I'm complaining, but I was thinking is if it was me as an eBay seller, you'd have these people like howling at it. But maybe because it's Duck Commander and they think it's a regular company, they don't get so worried about it. I don't know. It's different.
Huh.
Yeah.
And
Another thing,
we don't put. I have 2-day handling. We do not putz around and delay putting our shipments off. Problem is sometimes if Jim has crates to build, a lot to go out, we need the 2-day handling just because so we can make our on that.
Yeah.
We sometimes it would be almost if he has to go outside and build a crate. I mean, it's impossible to get it out in a day and get out all the other regular shipments. I mean, it's impossible. So
Right.
I can do maybe 3 crates in one day if I really hammer and don't pack anything else. That would 3 crates in a day is the max.
And that would be me helping him pack all the regular stuff.
Right.
Well, that's usually, I don't delay my shipping either, but
No.
time kind of gives you a little breathing room,
Yeah.
Well, and
And
that's
like right now when
something-
right now while I'm only packaging a couple things a day, it's not a big deal. I don't need the 2-day handling
And you
time.
can hold 1-day handling right now, probably. For what you're putting out, what you have to ship out in a day. You could do 1-day handling right now.
Nikki,
Back when I was shipping 10 a day, myself, I needed that 2-day.
Nikki, did you get top producer
Top rated seller.
or top rated?
Mm-mm.
Was, but she lost it, I think.
I got it back, and I'm 2-day handling.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Change
They'll
or
get your discount, though?
said I get 10% discount.
You still get your discount?
Because we were 1-day handling this fall, and then we were really selling a lot of stuff this fall. And it was like a lot of big stuff, lots of crates to build. We just couldn't keep up, and we lost our top rated just because we couldn't keep up with 1-day handling. And we switched it like that's. I'm switching it to 2-day. It's just I can't do it. We can't make it. And we just got it back like
A couple of days ago, I got a
3 or 4
message from
days.
eBay. You're back on. I'm like, what? All right.
Wow. Kind of weird.
no.
Yeah, I'd never seen them change that. I always thought with the top rated.
That's what I'm wondering. Change.
That was
'cause
one
you
of the
could be
criteria.
top rated. Well, the thing is with the extended handling time, you can still be top rated, but you don't get any of the amenities for top rated. Is what it was. They'll still give you the top rated badge because you're still doing what you're supposed to do,
Oh,
but you don't get any of the
Yeah.
discounts for those items that
Right.
aren't 1-day.
Right.
Still be top rated and have part of your the 1 business day and part of your items go out 2 business days. Discount on the ones that are going out 1 business day.
I gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I do have a mix. I have same day on some stuff
Yeah.
and 1 day on some stuff, but most of it 2-day.
Yeah, we have these electronic fuel modules that we do like same day, and there might be some more
Yeah.
one day on some parts in that.
How do you do same day? Do you just go to the post office at 4:30 every day, or what?
Well, as long as they buy it before
Noon.
then it's same day handling.
When you set it for same day, they'll ask you what time of the day you want your cutoff. So if they buy it at
Oh yeah,
that means it goes out the next day. It doesn't go out the same day then.
forgot about that. Yeah.
And they're a super easy thing to pack. It's an electronic fuel module that's like this big, and we put in a small flat rate priority.
And if for some reason I'm out of stock on small flat rate priority boxes, I know if I go physically to the post office, they have them right there out there for you can grab them. So I know I know I can do it every day. I don't want to do something where I can't achieve that, and I know I can do it out of those modules, so I do. And it gives me an edge on the competition because it's an identical product.
Yeah.
I'm the cheapest at day shipping. And yet, once in a while, somebody buys one from the other guy. I don't know why. He's like $5 more than me, and he takes like 3 days more to ship, but whatever. Go figure.
Yeah. I got some, I think they're washer parts. Different appliance parts, anyways.
For like a wash machine?
Yeah, for washing machines, dishwashers, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I had a whole bunch of that stuff last night at the auction. 3 boxes full. And the person I was bidding against wasn't very happy with me that I got them. And whatever.
We went to that small engine shop. It went out of business, and he had all this inventory of these new old stock, small parts. They're like in little envelopes. They'll be like this, miscellaneous parts. So I went through and individually listed them. Some of them are multiple listings, but at the time we were buying boxes full of them for like $1, $2 a piece. I mean, it was insane. You'd have 50, 100 parts in a box, and I'm buying it for $1 or $2. I mean, some of the parts will be a washer that's only worth $4.99 ship, which is actually pretty good money for a washer. So I'm maybe only making $1 on those listings by the time you ship it and your fees and stuff like that. But then there'd be other parts that were worth like these electronic fuel modules that we sell for $80 a piece,
Nikki, it was like, that they have those things in warehouses, or like they move beer crates on them. They have the roller skate wheels. They're conveyors or whatever they call it.
Like for moving boxes across, they roll on those rollers.
They set those up on sawhorses. Okay, so they're rolling out these flats. And when you were talking about, I think it was Dusty was talking about the Statue of Liberty bid, where you hold up the card, and you're talking about something that you're bidding that you wanted. You just held up your card. I sat on a bar. On a Husqvarna bar stool, which I later bought because I thought it was cool, and I just held up my card unless the price went over like $12, and I put it down, or if it was used. But if it was new, I held up my card. I paid $10 for any flat, but usually it didn't go that high. I was getting them for like Tarsus, like $1, $2.50. But I mean, I just bought one after the other. I mean, we just had this huge freaking pile, and we were paying we thought nothing. What was it at the end?
We paid like a little over $1,000 for everything we bought. But that being said, we had to rent U-Haul to haul it all home.
Because it was, but we were buying it at $2.50 to $1 a piece, But we got, we've got out in our arena, we got these pallets with these totes on them that are numbered, and each one of those totes is filled with parts. And Tara's still got like a couple pallets left of stuff she hasn't even gone through yet.
Yeah, not too much though. We're getting pretty down.
Yeah, it's getting down there, but I mean, and we've been living. I mean, that's been paying bills since like last fall.
Well, it was September we went to that auction.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and that doesn't include like the bigger stuff, the manuals I've sold from there, the advertisement piece, he bought a whole bunch of these new old stock Tecumseh short block engines, all that kind of stuff, which was higher price stuff.
If we could have an auction like that every weekend, we would be.
Oh my God!
I would be driving Gullwing cars or whatever, and it'd be paid. It wouldn't be leased.
Yeah. Well, that was that. I often talk about that school district auction a couple of years ago that I went to, and I got all those Briggs and Stratton parts and crafting stuff, and I mean and books, hardcover textbooks, automotive textbooks that went for crazy money. I mean, and I paid little to nothing for all that stuff. You know, I mean, altogether, yeah, I spent a wad, but yeah, I mean, it was like I just had to keep buying because I couldn't. And I could have bought, you know, they had all these oscilloscopes and all these other, all this other kind of electronic machinery or electronic stuff. And I mean, it was like whole desks full of this stuff were going for $1.
Wow.
And the only reason why I didn't buy it was because I was worried my husband was going to get pissed at me for buying so much. But afterwards, it's like, why didn't you buy all that stuff if it went so cheap? And I'm like, oh my God, you usually get mad at me when I buy all this stuff, you know? But anyway, it's like, make up your freaking mind, you know?
Yeah,
he's better now about it, but
he'll be like, how much did that go for?
Huh?
Why did I buy it? Jim gets mad if I don't buy the stuff.
I know. Well, he does too sometimes. But then sometimes if I get a good deal and I buy the stuff, then he's like, oh, why'd you buy this? Oh, where do you think you're going to put that now?
Well,
You know? And it's like, that's why I can't wait till I just have my eBay building that is just for eBay. And as long as I can fit whatever I want in that building, he can't say a damn thing.
You know what's going to happen? This was what happens to me. That building, all of a sudden they'll do something like they'll try to extension or some kind of like tool chest
Oh,
or
yeah.
storage, and then it grows like cancer until they take over your area.
And I told him and my dad, absolutely not. That is not happening.
Yeah, I've tried that too, and it never works.
Yeah, well, this time it is.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just going to put a big sign that says eBay on it.
Okay, it never. If they see the building, it is never truly yours because they will infiltrate it. And
I know. Well, I don't have animals anymore because all my dad's shit is slowly but surely trickling its way out here.
Yeah.
And filling up my building that I had my animals in.
Hey, Nikki, you know how you fix that? Just get some chickens and don't give them anywhere to roost. Don't make no chicken coop. Just let them go on and sit on all the stuff.
Yeah.
So if the chickens run loose in the barn and crap all over everything, that stuff will be out in a week.
Yeah. Actually, I do have. Everybody is tired of all my stuff, and they're both like, yeah, you definitely do need a building of your own. And I really honestly do think they will respect it. I mean, I know in the past, every building of mine has been taken up from them. I understand that. But I do honestly believe this time they really do mean it, because I mean, I'm starting to put stuff in my dad's garage because I have no room for stuff. And my dad's like, hey, your eBay is filtering into my place. I'm like, well, Dad, you know what? I don't have any room. You know? So I think they finally come to the point where they're like, yeah, you definitely need your own building. So I'm hoping.
Well, I mean, it's good that, you know, they finally are realizing that. So.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, if anything goes in that building that don't belong in it, it's going outside. Don't worry, it will.
I used to say that kind of stuff.
Throw it out.
When my dad was alive, he liked to do like woodworking, so he'd always be bringing boards over and stuff. I'd be like, no, I don't want that in here. I don't like the way that looks. You know, this is, I got the horse barns open for business. I don't like the way that looks or whatever. And he'd start yelling, and then I just would capitulate and give in, because it's like it's your dad. You just end up giving in, you know what I mean? And that's how they do it. Next thing you know, you have a big pile of lumber in your area, or a big pile of junk or whatever.
Yep.
And then I married a junk man, so then he brought all his junk over here, and next thing you know, I'm
That
surrounded
is all
by
auction junk and Norbert stuff. Not my stuff. My stuff for my house is in another building.
Yeah, he took over another building I have with
Just
his
one
stuff,
10%.
the whole thing.
Yeah. It's all auction.
Yo.
We accumulated together.
What is superpower?
One
Single bound.
about my building is it has normal height ceilings, so they can't put any machinery in there.
Okay. I can see just all like the small parts and stuff, you know.
Because that was the first thing. That was the first thing my dad said. Isn't really going to have high enough ceilings, and I says, "Why does it need to have high ceilings, Dad?" I was like, "No, it's got short ceilings, and that is for me. You know, if I have to, I'll lower the goddamn building a couple of notches."
Yeah, that's thinking.
Even my 6-foot husband ain't gonna fit in there. No, I've had enough of sharing spaces. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, I've voiced my opinion. I think they're gonna harm this time. Plus,
Yeah.
my husband hasn't been able to work in his garage in about 4 years. Too, he's had to go and work over at my dad's shop and stuff, and so I think he's had enough of that finally too. So I think he's learning his lesson.
Yeah, he probably has looked at the, the positive sides of you having your own building. It gives him back his, his stuff. So it's going to benefit him just as much as it's going to benefit you.
Yeah. Plus,
So.
I've taken over the whole dining room. I mean, my dining room has a path going through it. And he often says stuff about it. And it's like, well, just get my building up and this will all be taken care of.
There you go.
I said, what do you expect me to do? I can't go out and work in the garage in the middle of 30 below weather, Do I like living with only a path and going through my dining room? Absolutely not. But it's teaching him that, hey, she needs her own place.
Absolutely.
Because I've been trying to get this building for over 2 years, and it keeps getting put off. It keeps getting put off. Even this summer, it's been getting. I've got the freaking building out now. It just needs to be put up. And I told him, I said, you've got till steam show. After steam show, I'm calling in the nephews to build the building. I ain't gonna wait no more. That building will be up before wintertime.
Yeah,
and it will have
that's the thing is the winter's not too far away. It's already August.
And he's so particular about the way he does things. Like I said yesterday, he's a machinist. He's a carpenter. He does all these things. Particular about the way things are done. He does not want one of my nephews coming in and doing something, So he'll get it done. Plus, I'm my dad's baby.
That's right.
And I've told my dad how badly I need my building up, and that his stuff is going to have to wait till my building gets up. So he's been pushing Gary for the building too.
So y'all are probably wondering where Sally's at this morning. She went to some yard sales this morning.
Oh, Sally's on the hunt.
Yeah, she's on the hunt.
Sally's actually going to pay for inventory.
Yeah. So that's good. I mean, she'll, be able to. I'm sure she'll be able to find some good stuff, and so just be. I don't know who's going to be able to come on tomorrow. If you can come on for a little bit, that's fine. But we're going to have that listing challenge tomorrow for 12 hours. So just. I think it'll be a good thing.
I thought you could only go 8 hours live on YouTube.
You can, but we're going to do 6 hours on mine and 6 hours on Sally's.
Oh, wow.
We're just going to split it up. I wanted to actually do a 24-hour marathon, but Sally said, no, let's just try 12 and see how things are going. She goes, people got to sleep.
Yeah, what time do you start it at?
We're going to do it at 12 Central Time.
Oh, okay.
So 12 Central to 12 midnight.
Wow. No, tomorrow they're going to do a 12-hour listing marathon. Well, I don't think tomorrow I could commit to 12 hours. I got some other projects I want to work on too.
That's cool.
Maybe I'll talk to tomorrow.
Hi.
I thought it would actually be good to have to be able to get some other people in here, because when we did our other challenge, it was during the week, and so some people can't get in on that because they're working jobs or whatever. So
Yeah.
Mary has a question. If you're going to list DVDs, do you use the stock photo or should you take your... I always take my own photos no matter what. I
Yeah,
never use stock photos.
Yeah, I always take my
You
own
never go
photos.
wrong with doing your own photos.
That's right.
Especially if they're used DVDs, you know, you definitely want to have your own photos.
Even honestly, even with stuff I buy from the store, like if I did retail arbitrage, I still use my own photo. You know.
I do too.
And I put that in the
I do
description that this is the actual item.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
it shows. I think it actually shows the person what they're actually going to get. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, from a buyer's end, sometimes, like, if I see those stock photo ones, I'll skip over them because I'll be like, oh,
Yep.
this is like, you know, a knockoff from China or something like that, you know? So
Yeah.
sometimes I skip over them, but that's just me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and usually what I think when I see stock photos is like, oh shit, this is a drop shipper.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to be waiting, or there's going to be problems with my shipping or something like that.
Yeah.
Plus, I always like to give the little guy my business. And if I see somebody with their stupid little photos, you know,
Yeah.
that's the little guy, you know, so I'd rather give them the money than a corporation,
Even
you know.
Even my photos, I mean, I try to have a nice clean background and stuff like that. Not that I have like clutter in the background and stuff. It's on like a whiteboard. But I don't even do like where these people like do like all this like GIMP stuff where they whiten up the background and stuff like that. I don't even do all that stuff. I just take a really nice photo and that's good. I mean, the only editing I do, maybe crop it some if I have to, but that would be it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Mr. Sadie said, Tara, do y'all ship outboards? If so, do you ship them?
The only outboards that will
Thanks.
ship whole is a 2-horse like Johnson or Evinrude because they sell for around, I think last one we sold was about $400. Typically an outboard, we usually take it apart. If it's a parts outboard, we usually take it apart. So we'll ship the lower unit off of it and then the other parts, you know, like carburetor, fuel rails, stuff like that, depending on the size. Jim, would you ever ship a 5-horse? They're getting kind of big for that, aren't they?
If it's a newer 5-horse, it don't weigh much. If it weighs over 70 pounds, I won't ship it.
Yeah, if it weighs over 70 pounds on
In
an
the
outboard, he won't ship it. So just because it gets so costly
then
and if you return it, and if for some reason they're not happy with it and they return it, you got to eat that shipping cost back. I mean, then you're really losing some money.
I shipped a lower unit to Texas, and I fully described it, took all the pictures, whatever. It was the wrong one. So, of course, the guy says it doesn't match description, which you ain't going to win with eBay. So it was his fault, and I had to pay the return shipping on the thing, and the shipping was like $70.
Yeah.
So I didn't make no money. I broke even when I sold it again. I got my money back. I mean, so I was back to zero, but I had to stand in an auction and buy that motor and stuff. I mean, I took it in the short, so I won't do one over 70 pounds.
Yeah, and then we use FedEx because I see he asked what shipping service we use. We use FedEx Ground on those.
Yeah.
But 2-horse Johnsons and Evinrude, those little 2-horses, we do ship those whole. Jim will usually, if they run and stuff, he'll ship those whole.
Yeah.
I think, what do we get? Are those like running around $400 or
I think they're around $350, $400.
Yeah.
And I do a video of them running, you know, and all that stuff.
Megan Carl said she's confused. Is it a challenge or just a casual hangout?
It is a challenge. It's an official challenge.
But I guess if you wanted to come hang out, that would be okay. Hey, Val?
Yeah, that's fine too.
Yeah.
That's fine too. You know, like Tim said that he's already reached his limit as far as what he can list. But I'm sure, you know, he'll be hanging out and, you know.
Well, and sometimes with like when you do those challenges, like if the people are working, if you want to pop on, then you can watch the chat. And I guess if a question comes up in the chat, you can say, hey, here's a question, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's usually what we make Nikki do when she's not working. We make her watch. Oh, you never did a video on how you ship a full deer head mount, did you, Jim? We were talking
Oh.
about doing it. Mr. Sadie said, I'd like to see how you ship a full deer head mount. If I sell one, if I have a couple listed, if he sells one, I'll do a video on it. We were going to do a video on he sold one maybe about 2 months ago, and then we just didn't have time. Yeah, we were like behind, and we had to get stuff shipped out, and we just didn't have time. But if I knock off another one, I'll videotape it.
Question?
Mr. Sadie.
Oh, well, if you watch, I'm sure you did. I put that video up about the building the crate. It's really the same as building that crate, except the only additional thing is I take that same type of wood that those sticks, those furring strips, and I build little like braces to hold the neck and the head, just so it stays in one place, so it doesn't shift in transport. I'll do it, horizontal and vertical. I'll do it crossways so that it locks the deer head in place. And then when I do that, before I nail them in, I wrap them in bubble wrap, so where they contact the animal, they don't the wood isn't coming in contact with the fur. There's a cushion of bubble wrap. So that's basically all I do different is I put a little bit more internal framing just to hold the deer head in one place. But otherwise, it's the same crate I used on that blacksmith blower. And I do all 6 sides wood on that, so nobody can kick it in or anything. And that's it.
End of story.
And so make sure you're going to make money on those deer heads because they're a pain in the ass to pack.
Yeah.
If your profit's only $10, you're wasting.
Yeah, your time. And a good deer head should be $200 free shipping, at least. I've had like what I call crappy deer heads, and then those I might sell for like 70 or 80, but I make them pay the shipping on those.
So you do a little bit of free shipping, a little bit of paid shipping.
I do a little bit of paid shipping too.
Okay.
So on some larger items that just don't have quite enough value, I don't want to get. My problem is if I got to ship this thing to California, I mean that takes a lot of shipping if it's a bigger item. So then I'm like, well, right. I'll just put paid shipping on it.
Right.
Anything that goes small, like first class or whatever, anything that for sure weighs under 5 pounds, unless it's dimensionally too big, is free shipping.
Mm-hmm. Woo. Oh. So yeah, basically the challenge tomorrow is going to be 12 hours. In 12 hours, how many listings you can do. And I know that there's going to be people, there's going to be people that are going to come and go, and that's fine. Whatever you need to do. I just thought it would be a good day. And see, Sally's going to be going back to work here soon, so I wanted to kind of do it before she went back to work because it's difficult to do it when she's working. So
yeah.
Oh no, Robin. She said her PayPal has been hacked. That's not good.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Brandon.
I got Mabel.
Oh, do you? Is she being good?
She's just napping, but she's just...
Oh.
Yeah, mine was hacked too. I went in and took. I did it. I went in and took all my money out. Spent it on crap. Where is that rope maker?
Mr. King said he shipped a 12-point, just the rack, the deer rack, just the horns. And he used half a big roll of bubble wrap. There has to be a better way. Well, that's when we would use the foam.
Right.
Just the rack, say, Jim?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd crate a rack, but...
I guess it depends what the skull is like, or if it's on
if it's got the skull. Yeah, I mean, I could wood reinforce it.
But we do this a lot. We use a lot of this. It's this 1/2-inch or 3/4-inch sheep foam, and then we would put the antlers on there, and then shipping wrap it to it, and then build an interior box inside of it, and it's cheaper than trying to use a ton of bubble wrap. And since we've used this, I mean, we don't really have any breakage. It is very good. Because you can build like a whole other interior box inside of it.
This has got, and this is the shipping wrap. You buy it at Walmart or a big box lumber place. They have those rolls. They're like,
yeah, we buy the big one.
I think I pay at Menards. I pay like $18 a roll.
Oh.
And it's a lot fatter than this one you get. I mean, they'll last me almost a month.
Yeah. And the foam, I mean, we buy these sheets of foam that's, is that 6x4 sheet? And I think it's like $5.50 a sheet. It's cheap.
Where is that string maker or that rope maker?
It's in here. I saw it.
Oh, I just had it up here to ship. Well, if I start swearing at everybody, will I know?
Maybe. It was like sitting right here, like a second ago. Or maybe a couple of minutes ago.
Really?
Yeah, you must have moved it.
Oh, crap. You think I moved it? Because that would be bad.
Well, I didn't move it. I can tell you that. I remember I walked by and I'm like, oh yeah, there's that rope maker. Okay, now we gotta go on silence in case I start swearing. It might happen.
Wow. Yeah. Robin said she's already talked to PayPal. They were how I found out about it. PayPal shut my account down this morning. Well, thank goodness they shut it down. She said her computer was hacked. Apparently they have all of her information. So I don't know. I don't know how they would fix that. Yeah, I don't know how they would fix that situation as far as, do you just go in and change all of your, I mean, I know that they've got it blocked, but what else do they do? Oh, you just got to call the Social Security, the IRS, and the credit bureaus. Oh my gosh. That's horrible. That's a lot of time involved in all that. Craziness.
Yeah, she should definitely talk. I mean, on the phone though, directly to PayPal, or directly to PayPal with the number from PayPal's website, not from the email, just in case it's a phishing scheme. Because if they're asking you for like Social Security number and that's stuff that PayPal's just not going to ask you because they already know it.
Right.
So that would be that one thing I would be wary of. Is this a phishing scam? I definitely get PayPal customer service on the phone to make sure this is legit before you give them your password or any other information.
Yeah, Robin says they stopped it on their end. I have to put extra protections on my PayPal account. They want my driver's license on file. I guess that's another way to, have something else that identifies you. Yeah.
What?
Hey, oh, I thought.
What? Just go.
Yeah, just as long as she's 100% sure she's talking to PayPal and not a scam.
No, she I think she's definitely been talking to PayPal. So, and she said her computer has been hacked. Well, that's horrible. It's awful. Hopefully you get it all taken care of and all fixed up so that doesn't happen again. That's becoming more and more of an issue. Is computers. I mean, the crooks. The crooks are out there, and they're always looking for a way to get into somebody's account so they can get their money. Margot said, Robin, if you don't ask me, if you don't mind me asking, how did it get hacked? I was trying to print labels this morning on eBay and it wouldn't work, so I tried PayPal and got a message that my account has been restricted. I can't use it. Yeah. Yeah, you just have to be very, very careful. I kind of treat my PayPal as my bank, and I don't log into PayPal unless I'm just at home on my computer. I have that option on my phone, but I try to limit that as much as possible just because you never know who's around you trying to hack into hack into your stuff. Well, I'm glad that you were able to talk to them and get everything verified. So now it's just cleaning up the mess, and it's horrible because you've got to clean up somebody else's mess. But yeah, that's too bad. Hopefully everything gets taken care of and you don't have to worry about all that and big mess. So, question for Tara, Megan says.
Yeah, we're here.
Oh, I think she's still
Typing.
She's still typing. It's a long one. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
It'll be a compare and contrast question.
Is it going to be a hard question for me? It's not going to be like a. Well, are you using the global shipping program for? I mean, if I was using global shipping, I mean, I really wouldn't worry about rains or anything going to Italy.
Oh.
I mean, it wouldn't cause me any concern. But I would use I only use global shipping because I don't want to be worried about if you ship a first class international, if they if they go to their post office and then don't want to pay the tariff fees or whatever. We got burnt something that went to England, which wasn't horse tack. And that was what finally sold Jim is like, because before we'd ship, we're like, well, we'll ship everything ourselves. It goes, first class international and usually make some money on the shipping. Then after that, Jim's like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, anything that goes to the UK, where's this? Oh, this one's going to Italy. But especially the UK, because they have that new value added tax. I mean, yeah, they find out when it goes through customs, there's a big tax added to it, and they don't want to pay it. So, or if they do get it, they say, hey, there was postage due on this, reimburse me. And that's what I had to do with one lady.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? From now on, global shipping, if it gets destroyed in shipping, eBay takes care of it. If they find out it's something that's prohibited, can't be shipped, I don't have to pay for it. I don't get it back, but they don't bill. I still keep my money. So it's as if I sold it. I'm 100% global shipping program. Yeah. I do not mess with foreign shipping.
And just because they're like Western sport reins or barrel reins, I mean, maybe they're just like, because I know they're trying to bring more Western equine sports over to Europe and stuff. Maybe they just don't have good access to buying it at their tack stores because they're so English over there.
Yes, and I'm the cheapest person you could ever meet. I mean, you can ask Tara. I got my first nickel, and when I tell you, global is the way to go. You're not saving any money by doing it yourself on that one.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a horse person. I always thought horse people are stupid anyway.
Oh my god.
No offense. Anyway, so why would somebody want to import rope with snaps on it? That's true, but who knows? It could be some little girl that's like it's in their color or whatever. And I've seen pink lunge lines sell for $50 at a horse auction just because it was pink. So horse people do stupid shit all the time. No offense. And I'm a horse person, but it's true. If you want to see a horse person spend stupid amount of money, just put a horse on it or put it 4 horses, and then they'll really open their wallet.
Or if it's guys, put boobs on it. Because for guys, if it's got frontal nudity, it's instant art.
Yeah.
True enough.
They're just hypnotized.
Yes, and I will say that about Europe. I mean, they are so English. Maybe they just don't have very good access to Western tech like we do over here in
Right.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what they are is like. And I know like in Germany, I mean, they're really doing like all this like Western riding sports and like where they do like competitive trail and I'm sure like the gaming stuff and everything. So it could be just like it's just a hard thing for them to find over there.
Yeah.
They all want to be the John Wayne.
And if you got to buy it from State Line Tack or whatever, I'm sure it's pretty expensive when you import that too. And that's our horse lesson for the day.
Yeah, I mean, global shipping program, I didn't really have a problem. Once I found out, what it was and what it did,
Yeah.
And I was completely in and completely, sold on it because I never shipped anything internationally on my own, just because I was, worried about it or, worried that it would get lost. I mean, what kind of repercussions do I have if I just ship it over there, to Africa and it's on some dirt road or what, that's, I don't know, what do you do? And so with this GSP, it's a done deal. Once all I got to do is get it to Kentucky. And so
We
I
didn't
was,
into
I was
it first. Sorry to interrupt you. Anyway,
No, you're fine.
we didn't opt into it at first either because we're like, well, we do it ourselves and no, we don't mind doing it. It's no big deal. We had the thing in England happen. But I will say this, after we opted into the global shipping program, our global shipments or sales went up.
Yeah.
I mean, quite a bit. So, and I don't want to say like be conspiracy theory. I don't know, but maybe it does push you up in a search ranking for people that are from other countries shopping, where if you opted into that shipping program, you get a better search ranking. I don't know. I mean, significantly, they went up by a lot. Anyway. I mean, I guess the Canada people, I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks for them because they do have to pay higher shipping, but oh well.
Tell them to be Canadian people.
No. I've been in Canada. There's nothing wrong with Canada.
Tim says, when I managed a parts department, I had UPS come in and do all international. They did all paperwork, bill of lading, saves a lot of time and heartache, someone else doing it. Yeah. It's just a easier.
Yeah.
I think it's just easier for everybody.
The thing with with England, and I guess things that would be like their territories, they have that added value tax. We didn't know about it. We set that thing there. Well, I can tell you this, when they go to the post office to pick it up, they never feel that they owe it. They feel that you should pay it. So that's what ends up happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just easier. I know they have to pay more to Pitney Bowes or whatever to do it, but that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
As a seller, it's just so much easier just to ship it into Kentucky and not worry about it.
And if the rate is too high because the buyer pays it, if the rate's too high, then they just go buy from somebody else. And I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
It's just not worth the heartache. For a little bit of money. I mean, I can sell it to somebody in America and don't have to worry about all that stuff too, so. That person in Canada is not your only buyer.
Nope. Very true.
I think Canada's the worst too for complaining. Like, why can't you just send us first class international? It would be cheaper for me. And I'm like, it's too bad. That's why I ship it. It's a nice thing about owning something. I get to decide how it gets sold.
That's right. You're the boss.
Yeah.
Just don't let that go to your head, though.
Yeah. We got a neutral, and it was such a stupid thing. It was a DVD, free shipping, and a Canadian bought it. She leaves us a neutral because she felt that our shipping charges were absorbent. It was free shipping to Canada. Free shipping to Kentucky, and it's global shipping program. I get none of that money. I have no control over it. So she leaves this neutral, which when you leave us a neutral, we do not leave you positive feedback. Anyway, right. So then she contacts us. Yeah, I'd appreciate it if you leave me positive feedback. And Jim's like, well, our policy is if you leave us a neutral or negative.
No. I said just leave me my positive feedback. You'll automatically get positive feedback. It's a robot. Then she writes back, oh, well, I didn't know that. And I of course knew that this wonderful woman had left me neutral feedback.
This wonderful Canadian.
I'm pretending that I did. Oh, really? I'm just a lamb in the woods. I have no idea that you'd left me this shitty feedback. So anyway, she comes back with I didn't know, and then I didn't understand global shipping. I'm like, well, live and learn. But I never left her feedback. You leave me. If you don't contact me and at least give me the chance to make it right, and then leave me neutral or negative, we're not going to be friends.
No.
Well, the thing, you did it through global shipping program, didn't you? Because it's free shipping to Kentucky. So she can't leave you a neutral or negative. You can call eBay and have that removed.
Yeah, I probably could. Because it was a neutral, I didn't bother with it. But
we just left it. It was on a stupid DVD. It was like the little Match Girl DVD. I mean, it was something incredibly stupid. It was
that's not
it
nice.
Was just. It wasn't like it was a really nice thing or anything. It was a stupid Christmas DVD.
Anyway. My mother watches that every.
Maybe it wasn't stupid to her, Tara.
No, but when she's talking to us in half English and half French and giving us a neutral, then I'll put her in that category.
People are,
no. You're bad.
Tara's got a list. And French people on top of it.
No.
She wears a tinfoil
hat. Oh, it fell off
right?
already. Damn it. I was going to go back and look at that neutral, but it's already gone.
What?
Anyway, that neutral for that Match Girl DVD.
Just click on your neutrals. They'll bring them all up.
It did, but it's off.
Really? Oh, they took it off?
It's gone. We had 3 new.
Well, click on the 3.
Yeah,
this is a 3.
Oh, it's not that old. Then it got removed.
Global shipping.
Oh, it got removed.
Global shipping probably took it off.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it wasn't. We have no negatives.
All right. Oh, cool.
Woohoo!
There you go. No, don't worry. We got a couple of neutrals, so it ain't that big of a woohoo. But we don't have any negatives right now, which, we had a negative fall off, so we're about due for another one then.
Yeah, isn't that the way that it always works?
It'll finally fall off. And it'll always be some real stupid item or just something that's really just dumb. Anyway.
Our latest neutral is I shipped it on time, but it got there late. It got misdirected by the post office. The guy knew it. I mean, he alerted me to it on the tracking, like I got some kind of control over the post office. I'm very sorry, but there's nothing I can do. And he leaves it in neutral. But he knows I shipped it on time. I mean, it's just, I don't know, asinine. But I do say, if you get negatives and neutrals and you deserve them, you don't do what you're supposed to do. Like if the seller or if the buyer contacts you and you don't try to make it right, you probably shouldn't be on eBay. But most of us, if you look at our neutrals and negatives, there are people that we just, you tried to work with them and they just, either didn't want to talk to you or you tried to work with them and they made totally unreasonable demands.
And when you sell enough stuff, you're going to run across people that are not easy to work with.
And my negatives and neutrals are almost always $5 to $10 items. I'll say that too. It's always the heavy hitters.
Yeah, I got a feedback from, it was one of these ladies or one of these customers that bought something while I was on vacation, and I had that little blurb in there that says, I'm on vacation and I'll be back at and shipping your item on this date, blah blah blah. Well, so she messaged me and she said, when will this ship? And so I told her, and then the feedback was a positive, but in the message it said it wasn't in the description that the person wasn't going to ship until later. So I was like, well, as long as it's a positive, I don't care.
Yeah, because your positives will get buried so quickly, Valerie, because new positives, that's going to get pushed down. And when you're scoping as a buyer, when I'm scoping out a seller to decide, am I going to buy this thing like an electronic item that may be defective? Am I going to buy from this guy? Is he rock solid? I'm going to check his positives. No, I go right to his negatives and his neutrals. I want to see how this person responds when somebody has a problem with their item. Does he get crappy with them? Like, oh, you should have read the description or learn how to read, insulting, or is he going to be, hey, I'm on right on that. Let me help you. That's what people read is
that's
those.
Right.
That's why I always say when you get a negative or neutral, always respond. Please so I can help you. I'm not responding for them because I already know they're a jerk.
And they got their ass blocked now.
Yeah, I'm responding for everybody else who's going to check the seller and realize I'm not going to give you a hassle in return. Or I'm not going to argue with you. Just contact me. I'm going to make it right, which is what I'll do.
Right.
Mr. Sadie said he had somebody charge him $15 yesterday to leave a good feedback. We had somebody try to do that on a snowmobile.
That's not. That's against. He can turn that guy in. Yeah, that's against eBay policy. You cannot extort feedback. That is eBay policy. You can get that buyer kicked off.
Yeah, you need to call them.
We had a jerk do that on a snowmobile. This is back a few years ago. It was a vintage Skidoo, and on accident, in the what are those parameters called where you check stuff on eBay Motors? I used somebody else's listing that had checked it had reverse, and it didn't. The guy comes, freaks out, Minnesota guy. He totally
demands $100 for gas.
He demands $100 for gas. He's yelling at Jim. And then he wants to give us only half the money for the sled. Jim's like, no, I'll refund you all your money, but either you're going to pay me this price for this sled, or I'm going to give you back all your money. And the guy's like, oh, I'm going to leave you a negative. And
he's like, if you don't give me $100 for gas, I'm going to leave you a negative. I said, well, it's not happening. So he left me the negative.
Anyway,
wow,
it happens. You do get people out there that are jerks.
And I didn't turn that one in because it was our mistake. It was a box was checked wrong or whatever. So, I mean, I'm not going to fight the negative.
That being said, if you knew, which he said he knew snowmobiles, he bought it because he wanted to do vintage snowmobile ridings. In 1980, Skidoo only had reverses like on the Alpine and one other sled. This sled would never have come factory. And he would have known that, but he was busting our balls on something that was an accident, But people like that. Yeah.
Well, I tried to give him his money back right there in the driveway.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you'll have that. He goes, well, you can expect if you don't give me $100 for gas or give me back half of the purchase price, whatever it was, I'm going to leave you a negative, and which was kind of like extorting feedback, trying to extort.
Well, obviously,
anytime you say, if you do this, I'll give you. That's extorting feedback.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And if they get an item in a box and they're sort of being crappy about it or trying to extort feedback off me, I'll just tell them to return it. I won't even, because a lot of people, I'll be like, oh, okay, well, there was maybe something I missed, what can we do to make it right? Would $10 off be okay or whatever? We've all done that. But if they're being real jerky about it or whatever, or expecting something I'll just tell them to open the return on it.
Yeah, just send it back. Yep.
Jim, Puerto Rico doesn't go global shipping program because that's a U.S. territory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just regular U.S.
Yeah.
And like somebody said in there, sometimes gets there faster than any place in the United States, and that is true. I've had
Really?
media mail go to Puerto Rico faster than almost anywhere.
I have
It does.
stuff misdirected to Puerto Rico all the time. Like stuff that's supposed to go to Missouri winds up going to Puerto Rico first. Whatever, to back up to Missouri or whatever. It's funny.
Huh.
Because I get the message from the buyer. Wait, what's going on with my package? It says it's in Puerto Rico. I'm like, hey, I don't know. The post office is above my pay grade. You know, I got no control over that. I couldn't keep my wife from sleeping with other men. No.
Oh God, not this story again. His ex-wife's probably listening right now.
I could care less. Well, she knows it's true. I mean, she was there.
You don't own the post office, Jim?
What was that, Nikki?
I said you don't own the post office?
No, I don't own the post office. Have you ever seen that movie, Head Office? It's got Judge Reinhold in it, and Rick Moranis. Anyway, it's got Lauren Green, or not Lauren Green, the guy from Green Acres. I can't remember his name, but
I can't remember
the guy from Green Acres. He's a CEO or whatever. So he does disconnections of phones during the corporate meeting, and one of the new guys is like, why are they doing this? He goes, he likes to disconnect them personally. So he goes, okay, this is so and so, and it shows a picture up on the thing, and it says, here's his name, and here's what he did, or he says he hasn't paid, but he does say the check's in the mail, and that guy looks over, he goes, I own the goddamn mail, or check's in the mail. I own the goddamn mail, and his check's not in it. Disconnect. Next. It's a kind of a funny movie. That's my favorite part of it, though. That's probably the best part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Tim said Eddie Arnold.
Eddie Arnold, yep. And he's got these two
go.
metal balls he rolls around. He goes, with these balls of steel, I built this company from the ground up. And he's always like rolling these two metal ball bearings around.
Funny. You got to watch that movie, Going in Style. That was a funny movie.
I don't think I ever heard of that
Going
one.
in Style. It sounds familiar, but I don't know.
With Morgan Freeman, and it's got Morgan Freeman and that one English guy. What's his name?
Is that a newer movie? Is it newer?
Yeah.
I did see the stuff. I haven't seen it yet, though. It does look good.
Yeah. Funny. Michael Caine and Alan Arkin is
it's kind of like, is it like bucket list style?
No, they're going to like rob a bank or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
My kid wanted to see it at the theater, but I'm like, it's a...
I also watched what the hell is it called? With Goldie Hawn and that one chick from Saturday Night Live.
I don't know.
Snatched.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
We watched.
Yeah, I'll be watching that one. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks for the weekend playlist.
We watched Kong Skull Island last night, which I give it a solid eh.
A solid eh?
Yeah. It'd be about what you expected, but my kid liked it. It had a lot of action in it.
I'm pretty excited. I'm going to an auction this weekend, but I'm thinking Sunday I'm going to veg in front of the TV and watch Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3. I bought them at Walmart the other day.
Oh, boy.
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty excited. I love that movie. I like one, but
smoke that cigarette. Jim sings that all the time. Anyway.
I love Beverly Hills Cop 1. I love that movie. They had it for $7.50 for all 3 movies. I was like, I am getting that. Yeah, check out Walmart. Boy, they got some good stuff there, you know.
Yeah. It's a place to shop. Buy your groceries, tire your car, anything.
No, but I
You don't
mean-
even have to.
Don't be an ass, Tara.
I'm not even an ass. I shop at Walmart all the time. It's where I go. I built Jim faces are. He goes, I want to be like Walmart. I sell everything. Anyway, that's how you hook them. You sell everything.
Their DVD section. I mean, they've got like all kinds of 80s movies you can get, and they're cheap as hell.
Yeah, I think they got like that bin where they're like $4.99. Sometimes
Yeah.
you dig through it.
I mean, you can get some good quality movies, you know, like 3 movies in one for like $7, you know. And it's not like back in the older days where you'd get where those ones with multiple videos for cheap were stupid movies. These are actually good quality films, you know.
Yeah.
Some of those
Even they got
old,
I was gonna say you even have that Blu-ray bin at my Walmart, which I thought I saw was like $5.99 or $6.99. It was cheap for Blu-rays.
yeah. Yep. Bring the free pile picker. Get the F out of here. Yeah. I love Eddie Murphy. Oh, God. Eddie Murphy was my favorite comedian.
He's hilarious.
I used to like him on Saturday Night Live when he'd do that Mr. Robertson's Neighborhood.
Yeah. And it was so against my dad's rules to watch Saturday Night Live or watch Eddie Murphy. I mean,
Really? Jim's
so
dad
much
wouldn't let
swearing.
Jim's dad wouldn't let Jim watch Flipper or Lassie.
But I was allowed to watch any Saturday Night Live I wanted.
Really?
Because he felt like the dog and the dolphin were always getting the kids into trouble.
Yeah, because he's like all does teach kids to play around mine shafts or and like
I'm like many mine chefs
in
there.
Flipper, you had Sandy and Flipper find this like old World War II mine floating around, you know, like okay, like in Eagle River, Wisconsin, I'm gonna encounter that. You know, there's not too many World War II mines floating around in our lakes.
I don't think you're gonna encounter a dolphin up here.
Yeah, we don't have any mine shafts or dolphins anyway. Yeah, but he wouldn't let me if I was on. I mean, he just complained. He wouldn't tell me I couldn't watch it, but he'd sit there in the living room and complain until I changed the channel. It's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
In the chat, he's watching today.
Comfortable
Hi,
life
Dad.
at noon. Hope everything goes well at your doctor's appointment. Sorry. I just wanted to catch them before they left.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I want to do better than I did the last challenge. I need to limit my time, you know, focused on the chat and the computer. Not to say that it's not, you know, important.
No, but if you have people like that pop in that just are like saying hi or want to hang out for a little bit, like I said, have them watch the chat. Because I mean, when you're listening, it's impossible to watch the chat.
Right. Yeah, I need to do that.
So if anybody pops in, now I'll probably scare them all away. That pops in and wants to just put them on the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
Morning,
go.
Tiffany.
Give them a job.
Is that the box those lights coming? I'm gonna ship those out right now, right?
Yeah, you just gotta push this back in.
Yeah, Tiffany, Sally went to some yard sales this morning, so she's not going to be on the show.
It's too good for
Which
us
is
this
fine.
morning.
That's good for her. It's good to be out looking for sales and looking for stuff. So she doesn't get to do that very often. So
I was so bummed out. I was so bummed out last week that I couldn't find a good garage sale with you guys on camera. I was so mad.
yeah, I think Monday I'm gonna try to go over to the outlets again, see what I can find. That's another thing too is, you know, I want to kind of build some inventory up too because winter's going to be coming and so I want to make sure that I got plenty of stuff to list for the wintertime, which I think I'll be fine, but it's still good to have just a little bit of a backup just in case.
I can't find a box.
Huh?
I can't find a box I need.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
If you can find a halfway decent auction house, Valerie, in your area that will do auction house auctions in the wintertime, that's a good place to get stuff because if there's no other game in town, I prefer auctions like at the people's property, and the like somebody estate auction or whatever. I prefer that.
Yeah.
Auction houses, I don't like it because they can kind of pick through this stuff and they'll really advertise up the good stuff. They'll alert everybody to it. It makes the prices up a little bit higher. But sometimes stuff slips through the cracks, and you can pick up stuff through the winter if you go to it and none of the stuff's a good deal, go home empty-handed. You're not on anything but your time.
Yeah, that's right.
But I would say with us, that's never happened. There's always at least one or two things it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or we'll end up buying something that other resellers, like it's too big for them to ship. They don't want to mess with it. Like we bought a national cash register this winter. I paid, I think, 40 or 45 bucks for it, and we sold it for $5. But it's just, and Jim had to crate it, it had to go UPS because it was heavy. But it was like one of those things where the other resellers just didn't want to mess with it. So we do that kind of stuff.
I have a national cash register I have to list.
This one was the one that's like gold medal where it looks like it's not filigree, but you know what I mean? It's got like the decorative flowers on it or whatever. I went to that bar auction weeks ago and I tried to buy that one, but it sold for $125, and the last one I sold, I mean, it was free shipping. It sold for $5 or $5.25. I can't remember.
Wow.
But anyway, but 100 of it or 125 of it's shipping. You know what I mean? And and Jim's going to be out there for like 2 hours building a box. So I like to get that kind of stuff I don't want to sound like a cheapskate, but I got to get it cheap just because of the labor in it and the shipping cost. Ship it.
Yeah, I paid almost nothing for mine.
Yeah.
$2 for mine or $2 or something.
I got a couple candy store ones, which actually one I was using, but I think I'm going to put it up for sale.
You were using it for what?
Well, that was back when we had that store for a little while, so was kind of and then I put it with our stuff. But
we still have that?
Yeah, that mirrored one.
We still have another one too.
Yeah, I bought another one just like this summer, which we should list too. A small size one. Anyway.
Now you gotta leave something for the kids.
I wonder if I dare.
You're dealing with all the crap.
Hey, we're dead. You get to deal with all this crap.
You're welcome.
I wonder if I dare put these in polys.
What are you shipping?
If you're not sure, you probably shouldn't.
They're as seen on TV, and they're in their own boxes, and they're pretty tough box. It feels like, but.
Or are they something real breakable?
Yeah, if they're in a box, but if they're like something like that clear plastic, form-fit plastic that they put on cardboard, so you can see them. I hate that because they get crushed in those poly bags.
Yeah.
But if it's a complete box, I mean, or is it one of those clear plastic things?
Yeah. It's,
Uh-oh.
I think the inside is one of those clear plastic things.
Uh-oh.
Kids, so I don't look at them, but.
Is it light enough to go first class? Is that what you're trying to do?
I don't know. I'm gonna look. I don't remember. I'm just struggling this morning.
Because sometimes if it's over, if it's over the 16 ounces, I'll shove it in one of those padded flat rates.
Yeah, it's exactly a pound.
At least that's got some bubble cushion.
Yep.
won't fit in that.
No.
It's exactly a phone.
Do you have a legal flat rate?
What'd you say?
I said, do you have a legal flat rate?
It won't fit in that.
It won't. Hmm.
Throw it in a box. It'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, guys. I
I
think
just
we're
gotta-
going to go ahead and wrap it up for the day. And hope everybody has a great Friday. And come join us tomorrow. We'll be here 12 Central. And for the listing or the listing challenge. If you want to just hang out, if you don't want to list, that's fine too. We'll be here, and we'll be here for 12 hours. So come join us. We'll see you later.
Bye.